The quest for immortality. It was said that ancient alchemists actually discovered how to live forever. We all know about the famous Philosopher's Stone and of the European alchemists like Nicholas Flamel and Paracelsus, who were rumored to have made it, so lending to them eternal life. But was this just medieval and Renaissance legend, or was it truth? At the same time, Islamic alchemy was flourishing, with the same end, immortality. Scholars like Jabir ibn Hayyan, also known as Geber, were pioneering figures in this field, their work blending philosophy, mysticism, and practical experimentation. Islamic alchemists in the Golden Age of Islam, circa 800 AD, used their ancient arts to create elementals of fire, water, air, and earth. They sought the elixir of life, known as al-iksir, believed to extend life indefinitely. Their texts, such as the Emerald Tablet, reflected a synthesis of Greek, Persian, and Egyptian knowledge, all the profound secrets of the ancient world, all brought together to conquer death forever. But no one seems to be able to confirm that Flamel or Paracelsus or Geber ever truly lived forever. There are rumors through history and all through the folklore of Europe and the Middle East. But for the frustrated seeker of eternal life, no certain proof that they ever really lived forever is offered. And worst of all, nowhere in these tales is there offered any easy-to-understand way to become immortal. But what is lesser known is that ancient China also had a form of alchemy, aimed almost entirely on the goal of eternal life. And not only was it verified by history that ancient Taoist sages had become immortal and lived for hundreds of years, but the method they used to do so is very clearly outlined in the books they have left behind. Immortality, laying right before us all for the taking. Interested? What's a few minutes of watch time, after all, in exchange for eternal life, right? So let's go. First, a little background about this immortal Chinese sage named Zhang Sanfeng, said to have lived 200 years at least. There are many that think he is still alive, and he was born in 1247. That's right, a good 800 years ago or so that's no small feat. Said to have been born near the Dragon Tiger Mountain in Jiangxi province. His birth name was Quan Yi, though throughout his life he adopted various other names to symbolize the growth and spiritual rebirth that he would experience over time. At the age of 9, he began his spiritual journey by studying Buddhism under Chan Master Hai Yun. As he matured into a man, his intelligence caught the eyes of the local government. He was given the coveted position of country magistrate and administered his area with skill and wisdom. Despite his success, however, by the age of 43, he had left his family and his position. Drawn down the spiritual path, he decided to embark on a new life and a new path to pursue the Taoist road of spiritual cultivation. This marked the beginning of his deep dive into Taoist practices and philosophies, a dive that led down all the way to immortality by most accounts. 4 years later, he was initiated as a Taoist priest by a powerful sage named Xuan Du. He initiated Zhang Sanfeng into the deep secrets of Taoism, imparting to him the hidden wisdom contained within the Treatise on Understanding Reality. This treatise is the foundational text in Taoist internal alchemy, focusing on the cultivation of inner spiritual and physical health through the harmonization of mind, body, and spirit. This is the brand of alchemy that existed in China, a kind of alchemy that is mainly done internally, through body energy. After Zhuang Du's teaching, Zhang graduated to the next step of his ascension. In 1325, at the age of 78, Zhang became the student of the fire dragon Immortal on Gehong Mountain. This legendary wise hermit imparted to him the secrets of this internal alchemy, which involved creating within himself what was called the Pill of Immortality. And it is what it sounds like, a way of circulating your body energies through meditation to render yourself immortal. This practice was once secret beyond words, a profound process of inner alchemy using the body's natural energies, or qi, to slowly increase vitality and youth to supernatural levels. The secret meditation of energy manipulation is called Nidan. Available to read about all over the internet today, the only place you could find it in the Song Dynasty China was on top of the mystical Gaihong mountain from the lips of the fire dragon immortal himself. But now, if you simply Google the book titled The Secret of the Golden Flower, which is thought to have been written by Zhang Sanfeng himself, who learned everything he wrote in this book from the fire dragon immortal on the pinnacle of the mystical Gaihong mountain 700 years ago, you can easily learn this once highly privileged knowledge about how he became immortal. No need to scale even one mystical mountain. This esoteric work is a compilation of ancient knowledge about a method of meditation known as Nidan. It uses coded and puzzling language to describe the process of inner alchemy, that is, the manipulation of energy in your body in order to transform your body into something immortal. Strange, mysterious language like turning the water wheel or the golden elixir of life. Luckily, this tome gave a commentary from many wise and learned Taoist sages who knew what they were talking about. And so, it has been decoded for you. The fairly simple process of Nidan meditation through which the eternal was reached was made clear by them. Published first to the entire world in 1920, these secrets have only been available for around 100 years. And not until the advent of the internet did this work become widespread. So, widely spread is the secret of immortality now, decoded and made perfectly clear, so perfectly clear that honestly, what is your excuse, mortal? Why are you not yet an eternal being? No one has happened to ever clue you in on this one weird trick from the fire dragon immortal? Well, then listen up, friends. Allow me to rectify that situation. Nidan revolves around the fairly simple concept of turning the water wheel. What is meant by that? Well, the ancient system of traditional Chinese medicine postulates that the body is wired with meridians of energy, which they call qi. The two most important energy channels inside of you are the du, which runs from the bottom of your trunk up your spine and up to the very tip-top of your skull. The second main qi channel in your body is called the ren, and it continues from the top of the skull down to the front of your face, between the eyes, through the mouth, down the throat, past the heart, stomach, and back down to the bottom of your trunk. Any guesses yet on what turning the water wheel might refer to? You see, the ancient Taoist sages believed that your shen, meaning your spirit or mental consciousness, could literally create realities within your body, if paired with your qi. If the shen, therefore, meaning your conscious intentions, merge with your qi, your body energy, by your visualizing that qi moving, it will actually move, and you will in fact create this reality. And so, first step, you must believe that if you decide to try Nidan meditation, you sit down on a pillow, cross your legs, and try to consciously move your qi around through the meridians, that it is in fact moving just as you are visualizing it. Because, according to these immortals, and they are immortals after all, so maybe they know what they're talking about, you know, your simple mental intention can move qi around in this way, because according to the ancient immortals, shen and qi naturally combine like two sides of a magnet, and so that is the first step. Believe you are moving the qi. Secondly, move it like this. Any guesses how? That's right. Start at the very bottom of your trunk, right where your butt is sitting down on the pillow. As you inhale, Imagine with all your intent that you are drawing the chi up your bottom, up your spine, all the way to the top. As your lungs fill completely, let the chi reach the very top of your skull. Then, as you exhale, consciously intend that your chi is moving down from the top of your skull, down the front of your face, between your eyes, down through your mouth. At this point, the ancient sages warned of the importance of keeping your mouth shut, as of course you are breaking the energy circuit otherwise. So, no chewing gum or munching down on hot dogs during Needin', friends. From there, let the chi flow down your throat, through the stomach and the viscera, and down the front of your belly, and down once again to the very bottom of your trunk, sat down on that meditation pillow. That, my friends, is turning the water wheel. Sound ridiculously simple? Well, that's because it is. But that is Needin'. That is the method that all later Taoist sages, even ones rumored to have become immortal themselves, claim to have been the method that Zhang Sangfeng used to live hundreds of years and with plenty of youthful vigor to boot. As the text itself states, you only have to make the light circulate. That is the deepest and most wonderful secret. No wonder they had to conceal it with so much poetic and coded language and so many mountains and elusive dragon immortals, because it is the simplest of methods. It is claimed in the text that if the water wheel is turned enough times, the light or chi begins to crystallize, meaning that the usual life force within all of us living beings, which normally flows like electricity through our blood and our veins and our energy meridians, pouring out of us daily and causing us to age, will instead become like something solid that no longer leaves us, no longer lessens, and no longer ages us. A very basic concept that the sages left behind is that most people do not control their life energies at any point in their lives, meaning it is just wildly pouring out of you like an open tap that you left on. And so it's no wonder that we lose our power day by day, year by year, like a battery losing its charge. Yet, if instead you consciously control your energy, you keep it from leaving you. Eventually, in fact, it stops leaving you altogether and becomes solid like crystal. What is needed to keep your life force from flying out of you in this way? Daily control, of course. Daily Needin' meditation is what the ancient sages would tell you. So, there you have it. The immortal sage's path to immortality. True, you may need to spend a bit of time in the half-lotus position, concentrating and resisting the urge to pick up your phone and scroll. And I know meditation can be a bit of a chore, but there are some pretty decent returns to be had when you say, maybe even some decent savings too. After all, funerals aren't getting any cheaper. Truth be told, our research shows that even the European and Islamic alchemy did contain the idea that some elemental internal energy work was needed to make the elixir of eternal youth kick in properly. So, meditation required all around, I'm afraid. But, once again, what's a little lotus position deep breathing in exchange for a couple hundred more birthdays? We've given you the Fire Dragon Immortal's secret to eternal life, which only a sage as wise as Zhang Sangfeng, with his quad strength to leg it up the Geihong Mountains to boot, could have accessed once. Isn't that worth a bit of effort? After all, if folklore got it right, he just might still be walking those hills thanks to that secret. So, now that you know how to become immortal, I fully expect to get together with you all, my friends, and hear all about your newfound immortality one day. So, shall we pencil that meeting in for, say, spring of 2190? It's a date. Well, that just about wraps up tonight's tale from Lorehound. Join us as we sniff out more of history's most interesting stories.
As the hound dog entered the dimly lit library, he sensed an aura of mystery surrounding the ancient scrolls. The dusty shelves towered above him as he sniffed his way through the labyrinth of books. Suddenly, he picked up a scent and followed it to a secluded corner. With bated breath, he approached the shelf and pawed at the book, revealing the hidden scroll. As he rolled it out, he knew he had discovered a treasure worth protecting at all costs.